Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Damon yet again with another list. And today, seeing that basically one battle after another came out, and spoiled, it was pretty good, but I did not feel like this movie was the best Leonardo DiCaprio movie ever. Okay, so yeah. However, Leonardo DiCaprio has a stellar body of work. If you look at this, I mean, even his worst movies actually happen to be at least good. And for an actor, that's very rare they can say that. You can pick a lot of great actors and you can pick out easily in their repertoire a bad or a crap movie. With Leonardo DiCaprio, it's very tough. You might find a movie that's not as satisfying, as gratifying as others, but still, it's still in general a very good body of work. So I decided, okay, and seeing that he doesn't have plenty of movies, like he focused on quality rather than quantity. I decided to, I was wanting to do a top 20, but then I found out there's a lot of movies I didn't see from him. I didn't see Basketball Diaries from him. I didn't see Body of Lies. I didn't see Killers of Flower Moon, which I want to see, but it's 3 hours, 30 minutes. I I did not go see the movie theater just because of the length of the movie. And yeah, but of the movies I've seen, I pick out the top 18 best Leonardo DiCaprio movies of all time, in my opinion. Number 18, Revolutionary Road with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. That's the first of the two Kate Winslet Leo movie on this list. I thought it was good. That was a great character analysis story with basically Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet stuck in a marriage, basically in which they no longer love each other, in which case I wouldn't say they outgrew each other, but they were not fulfilling each other's needs anymore. I mean, Leo's character wanted a family. Kate Winslet wanted anything but another kid with Leonardo DiCaprio. And some people could have even joked that it was a sequel to Titanic, which is funny. I felt like this movie was had some bit of comedy, but overall was basically a dark social commentary on basically on some people who stay in relationships way after the expiration date of that relationship. In this case, I mean, that and Blue Valentines are very depressing movies. I mean, not everybody wants to stay in a relationship that maybe might not be as satisfying as others, but this was like extreme ones where basically it's like love became hatred. Like everything became resentment of the other one. And so it's a tough watch. It's one of those movies that I like, but I don't feel the need to ever see again. But I will point out that Michael Shannon had a great performance in the movie. So for the short time he's on, he's basically the guy who steals the show. And I do remember he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in 2008, along with Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder, as well as uh, Heath Ledger for The Dark Knight 1. So that's what I do remember of this movie. It was good, but I did not feel like it was great. Another movie that was good but not great is 2013's The Great Gatsby. I know it's based on the book, and it was directed by the same director who did Romeo and Juliet. And from the style it showed, it was basically, I wouldn't say a complete musical, but this aspect of it that was musical-ish. I'm thought that the top actors, delivered a great performance. Leonardo DiCaprio was awesome as Great Gatsby. Carey Mulligan was very good in that movie. Tobey Maguire was good as basically the one he's kind of the protagonist through whom the audience sees the entire story. He's the point of view you see the entire story. Maybe it's because I don't have that much of an affinity for uh, for musical in general, but that movie was okay. It was good. It didn't, to me, it didn't basically remake the wheel. It didn't reinvent the wheel. It was good. So, no problem. This one. So, that was number 17. Number 16, Gangs of New York in 2002. The first of two Leonardo DiCaprio movies on that list from 2002. I thought that movie had great performance, but the actual movie by itself was not that exciting. In fact, at some times it was boring. Leonardo DiCaprio as Amsterdam Valley was awesome. Great performance when he plays basically a guy who wants to avenge his father, and he infiltrates Daniel Day-Lewis's gang, which is Bill the Butcher, and basically tries to learn from him. But at the same time, he's playing this time where he's gonna get revenge on Bill the Butcher. And speaking of Bill the Butcher in the movie, Daniel Day-Lewis is the best performance by far of the movie. In a movie who already has Leonardo DiCaprio and Liam Neeson, Daniel Day-Lewis once again proved in that movie why he might just be one of the best actors of all time. And I didn't say basically best Hollywood stars or box office stars, but the best actor in terms of acting of all time. I mean, every time he's on screen, you're riveted to his character. He knows how to make his version of Bill the Butcher very detestable, but there's a bit of basically this kind of a code, I wouldn't say of honor, but code of conduct with him. So I thought it was very interesting for a bad guy to have this. Cameron Diaz was maybe the weakest link, but even then, people really, I thought they were they went too hard on her because she did have a good performance, but it's a good performance amidst a plethora of great performances in the movie. So that's why she seemed like lost in the shuffle. And even Liam Neeson, the short time he's on the screen, was very good there. So that's number 16. Number 15, what? Number 15 is A Boy's Life, which is maybe the first serious Leonardo DiCaprio movie there is. And it stars him and Robert De Niro. So that movie, basically, Leonardo DiCaprio is stuck with a stepfather who is very abusive. And again, awesome performance from both of them, but to me, the subject matter of that movie makes it very hard to rewatch ever again. You were happy for the main character that by the end of the movie he got out of that toxic environment, but it also led to a lot of questions. What happened to his sister who was stuck there? Uh, what would happen later on? How would his character get better right away? So there were a lot of questions that were paused at the end of the movie, and I still felt like that movie was a good movie, great performances, but again, not something I feel like rewatching, which is basically the bottom half is pretty much that. So that's number 15. Number 14, The Revenant, the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio actually won the Academy or he actually won an Academy Award for Best Actor. I thought the movie was pretty good. I mean, but the trailers made it seem like it would be an action movie, a thriller, when in reality it's a very slow-paced movie. It's basically one man against the environment. Oh, and against Tom Hardy's character, John Fitzgerald, who received his first Best Supporting Actor nod for that movie. I really like that movie, but I don't like the fact that it is the movie for which Leo finally won. I mean, it became like a meme that basically people forget it became a meme that basically people would say, what would Leonardo DiCaprio has to do? What would he have to do in a movie to finally get that Oscar? So we finally found out that he had to basically film a movie, in which case he had hypothermia and basically, or at least risking hypothermia. And yeah, was a very beautiful movie. And again, I know it's the same director of Birdman, and I thought the ending was slash cliffhanger cliffhanger like Birdman, or an ambiguous ending, and I just thought that the character just once he fulfills his vengeance, he's able to do the way back to his village, but it's just the journey goes on, the journey lives on, and the next day will be another day against the brutal cold. So that's what I felt for that movie. Again, another movie I liked. Don't see the need to rewatch it. Now we go into number 14. Sorry, that's number 13. Sorry. Titanic. People forget how much of a phenomenon that movie was. I mean, it was James Cameron's first movie after True Lies, which True Lies was the next movie after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So people were interested in what he did. still are, but I mean, at that time, he was basically pumping out movies every 2, 3 years, like usual. Uh, Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in that movie, I thought was overshadowed. Like he should have been nominated the Oscars for that, but he wasn't. Billy Zane might be joked about in Zoolander and even Holmes and Watson, but I thought he played a very, very great villain in that movie. A person you had no sympathy for, and in fact, a person who was very despicable, was trying to save his life, which saving your life can be okay, understandable, but he was even trying to get people, basically other people in danger for him to live, which is where he became despicable. Kate Winslet, I that was how she got discovered for to the mainstream audience through that role, and I thought she played a very, very good role in this movie. Much better than The Reader, in my opinion. That The Reader is the movie for which she won an Academy Award, and just like Leo, I felt like both of them won for the wrong role. But nevertheless, I thought that as Rose, Kate Winslet really showed her acting range. She was very good in that movie, and uh, the Leo Kate scene were very interesting. Bernard Hill as the captain was very fascinating as well. All in all, it was a good movie, but now I just wouldn't watch it again because it's 3 hours long. I remember back in the day when we rented it or when we eventually bought it in late 1998, you had two tapes of it. I mean, people basically OGs also will probably mention basically back in the day where of the original PlayStation when you had Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, you had two CDs. So basically, after you finish one, it would say please insert CD two. In this case, it was like please insert second tape. And it's like this is how you know a movie went way too long. And that's the thing with the looking back with Titanic is a movie that was stretched in maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes, basically stretch out at least another 45 minutes too long. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I can't stand movies who prolong the length way too long before basically way too much when the finish line could have been attained a while ago. That's for number 13. Number 12, one battle after another. Again, I mentioned about a movie that stretches runtime to basically when it could have ended or could have basically reached the ending a while ago. That's one battle after another. I would like the movie. And funny anecdote is when I went to go see the movie, at first I was given a screen, in which case I thought it would be the actual screen of the movie, of the beginning of the movie. Actually, I caught it was another screen at our theater, in which case I saw the ending first. So I know I ended first before I saw the movie. But nevertheless, I watched a movie. I was enjoying it. I thought it was a fun movie. I just don't think it was as good as it was hyped up to be. I thought it was 162 minutes. It's 2 hours, 40 minutes, and I felt like that's a movie that could have been 30 minutes less. It only needs to be 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I thought sometimes it struggled to what it was supposed to be. At moments, it felt like a serious movie about activists facing off against Stephen Lockjaw, Sean Penn movie. And then sometimes it felt like a out of place comedy. There's some moments that are comedic and they make me I thought was were very good, very well placed, very good comedy. And then there's times where it felt like it didn't make sense. Like Sean Penn's character sometimes can be very menacing and sometimes it's kind of self-parody. I mean, wrestling fans will probably notice that sometimes I felt like it was hilarious with his Vince McMahon like walk. I'm thinking to myself, he's got to be a parody of a bad guy because it didn't make any sense for him to do so. So, but all in all, Leonardo DiCaprio, great performance in that movie as a paranoid, basically, I wouldn't say brain dead, but brain fried former activist. Sean Penn as the cruel antagonistic person of the movie. Benicio del Toro, to me, deserves a Best Supporting Actor nod for this role because he was very, very, very cool, and it's like the person you want to be in that movie. You always get this cool. He's the one who actually got everything done, it seems like. Regina Hall played a very good role, and it's amazing how much he grew from Scary Movie to this. So, all in all, there's other people who performed great. Chase Infinity too played excellently a role as the daughter of Leonardo DiCaprio's role. She was playing the role of his daughter in the movie. And yeah, to I said in the previous top 10 best movies of 2025 that probably will put Leonardo DiCaprio's One Battle After Another in that list. It would, but I thought it'd be the high top five, but now it'd be more the bottom five of the top 10, like number eight or number seven. It's not number one, doesn't beat Sinners, it doesn't beat F1, it doesn't beat Final Destination, it doesn't even beat Naked Gun 2, not Naked Gun 4, sorry. So yeah, that's for number 12. Number 11, Don't Look Up. It was streaming on Netflix in 2021, and I thought it was a good, fun comedy when it started to be a comedy. When it was comedy, I thought it worked, that movie, but when it started becoming drama and basically social commentary that was dramatic, I thought it lost its appeal. I liked it better was as a joke, basically as a dark comedy, a social comedy, because Meryl Streep playing basically the equivalent of the bad guy in the movie was hilarious. Ron Perlman as well was hilarious. Jonah Hill as the social media nipple baby that's hired just because his mom's a president. I thought was fantastic. Jennifer Lawrence had a great role in that movie. Uh, all in all, I thought everybody like played their role well, but it was a movie that's like, okay, I watched it once, I had no desire to see it again. And truth be told, I remember in that year, like it's the same year of Spider-Man No Way Home, and I would have liked Spider-Man No Way Home to be nominated in the Oscars because I thought it was very good. Between this and Don't Look Up, Don't Look Up is good, but it's like it's not something that I felt like was so rewatchable. It's something you watch once or twice, and then afterwards you move on. So that's for number 11. Number 10, the Man in the Iron Mask in 1998. In this whole movie, Leonardo DiCaprio plays both the prisoner, who's the protagonist story, and the bad guy, who's the evil king. And then we also have the Musketeers. We have Jeremy Irons, who as always rocked that movie, as well as others. So I don't remember, like I didn't rewatch that movie recently, but I do remember that when I watched that movie, I felt very entertained. I remember I was always wondering which came first, Titanic or Man in the Iron Mask. I was surprised to find out it was Titanic came first. It just stayed longer at the movie theaters than Man in the Iron Mask. All in all, it was a very good movie. I would not say it was a complicated one, but I thought it was a very entertaining tales about two people with different fates, and the less fortunate person actually end up being a better person than the more fortunate one. So, and the spoiler alert was that the prisoners was actually of the rightful king of that kingdom in that movie. So, yeah, I thought it was a very good movie. So that's for the first half of the list. The second half, the top half, is our movies that would rewatch over and over again. So for number 9, Django Unleashed. Oh, sorry, Django Unchained. I always meant whatever. I always may say Unleashed when it's Unchained. I thought was a fantastic movie by Quentin Tarantino, and Leonardo DiCaprio as Calvin Candy plays such a bad guy. I never knew the guy had it in him because he usually plays the good guy in movie, but this is one of the few times where he plays the bad guy, and he's so slimy, he's so arrogant, he's so narcissistic that you can't help but wish that the character gets the gruesome demise it deserves, and he does. I mean, that's for Leonardo DiCaprio. Jamie Foxx plays a great Django. Christoph Waltz. Again, another person who steals the show as the Dr. Schultz, the former dentist who's now bounty hunter. Samuel Jackson plays a great character. He's a mainstay in Quentin Tarantino movies. He plays a great role. Kerry Washington as Brumilda was very good, very well developed. I thought this whole movie was very good. This is something you can rewatch. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and a half, but you didn't feel the time in that movie. It's very good. It's the you cheer on Django for him to get his vengeance and to rescue Brumilda. You also cheer for Dr. Schultz. You sympathize with him. and you dislike the bad guys. What else is there to say about Django Unchained? The next one, number eight, is also a Tarantino movie. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, Leonardo DiCaprio plays the the main role. In this case, he plays an actor who's in the downswing of his career, and he's struggling to find roles after his TV show got canceled. Meanwhile, he's helped by his fellow stuntman and Andy Man, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt. And again, I talk about show stealers. He steals the show in this case. He's always so cool. He's the character you. He's like the character who exudes coolness all the time. So, and you see that basically their adventures, their tales through the years, how they develop, how they interact through the years, and it's very, very fun there. It does go on too long, but I felt like the ending was very, very satisfying. So, and I found out that basically Tex was played by Austin Butler, an actor that quite frankly is on my radar nowadays, not just with this, but with Elvis, Dune, or Caught Stealing. It seems like every movie he does, he always delivers 110%. It always managed to at least every time he's on screen, I'm riveted. So I had to mention that. That's for this. And yeah, and Mikey Madison in that movie made me laugh because there's this very s- funny similarity between Scream 5 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood concerning Mikey Madison's characters in both movies. I'll let you decide once you see it. That's number eight. Number seven, Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond, Leonardo DiCaprio plays basically a South African smuggler who basically, or South American smuggler, sorry, who was trying to smuggle basically blood diamonds to make a living. And whereas Jumon, sorry if I mispronounced the name, Jumon here, he he's trying to this his character Jumon there, he's trying to rescue his son in that movie. And in the meanwhile, you have also you what else? You have basically Jennifer Connelly basically trying to be a journalist and interview. Um, he's trying, she's trying to interview Leonardo DiCaprio basically, as well as to find out basically the details of this war basically in Sierra Leone. So I thought it was a very good movie. That was a very good movie. It's a hard watch at times, but it's still kind of an action movie. I would say it's an action movie that's has some art moment, but it's not something I would stop from rewatching. It has action moments, but with the action moments, but with some drama in there. So it's more like I'd say it's not an action movie, it's a dramatic action movie. Oh, and by the way, the Jimon Onsu was the supporting character, and basically was the name of the actor playing the supporting character, and he's very good at movie. He was nominated for best supporting actor, and he deserves every bit of it. So again, a lot of movies with Leonardo DiCaprio, in which case the supporting actor is nominated in the Oscars. Keep that in mind. That's for number seven. Number six, Catch Me If You Can from 2002. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. Well, already directed that same year. He directed one of my favorite movies, Minority Report. It's a true story of basically a con artist played by Leonardo DiCaprio who managed to escape Tom Hanks' agent. And Christopher Walken plays the father of Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, again, Christopher Walken got nominated for an Oscar for that role. He didn't win, but he got nominated, and it's like it was very, very good. It was really a great, it was a great pick. It was a great role. I really like how in that movie, just like Eat, you kind of sympathize with the criminal, but the basically the officer of the law is not the bad guy either. Both of them have to do their job, and it's just I feel like that's a happier ending in the end than basically Heat because Tom Hanks' character doesn't dislike Leonardo DiCaprio's character as con man. He doesn't dislike him. He doesn't wish him harm. He just want him to. If you basically the moment they capture him, spoiler alert, he wants them to help the FBI because he sees something better in him. He sees some potential in Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He sees potential that maybe nobody else did. So we think he can actually help the FBI and just talent that nobody else does. So I thought it was a very, very good movie for this. That's number five. Number four. Actually, that was number six. Sorry, number six. Number five is Shutter Island. It's based on the book. Based on the book. It's a very, very powerful movie, a very psychological thriller with Leonardo DiCaprio, Ben Kingsley, and Mark Ruffalo. And from beginning to end, you know not everything is what it seems to be in that island. You can suspect one thing, but it's actually another. And it keeps you on your toes for the duration of the movie, which I think is 2 hours and 10 minutes. And again, Leonardo DiCaprio knows how to basically portray different kind of characters. In this case, he plays Teddy Daniels, who investigate a secret island, Shutter Island in this case. And in that case, he finds out that basically where they keep mental people with mental health problems, severe mental health problems, in which case they get treatment. And he tries to find out if there's a conspiracy behind that, and lo and behold, there is, but not the one he thinks it is. I really like that movie. This is rewatchable because then there's some signs, basically of every character, every event that's gonna unfold later on. And he's always haunted by the image of his late wife, played by Michelle Williams in that movie, which is very, very important. I thought the soundtrack, the score was amazing, and yeah, it's a movie you should go out your way to watch. That's number five. Number four, The Aviator by Martin Scorsese. Again, a lot of movies with Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese go really well, like peanut butter and jelly. Aviator was a great is a story about Howard Hughes. And do I need to say more? Yes, Leonardo plays Howard Hughes, and he plays it very well. Especially the moment, basically, the downfall of Howard Hughes when he's basically uh, struggling with his OCD. So you can see the fall from grace from Howard Hughes. He becomes a reclusive person, and Kate Beckinsale tries to help him, but he's still basically uh, still cornered. Basically, still struggling with his disorder there. So Kate Blanchett played a great Katharine Hepburn. Was awesome that movie. Uh, and yeah, that those are basically the main things that you remember from this. So now I'm going to top three. Number three, Wolf of Wall Street of 2013. I'm shocked this movie did not win for best movie that year at the Oscars, or at least this is the movie that should have netted Leonardo DiCaprio his first Oscar. He played Jordan Belfort, Wall Street, an illegal Wall Street stockbroker, and basically the life that basically that being a being a con artist got him. He scammed people, and it got him very rich for a long time, basically until his greed got the best of him and got caught. The whole movie can be sometimes a comedy, but when Martin Scorsese wants you to realize that Jordan Belfort was a scumbag, he makes it very clear that he was a scumbag. I mean, that first time I was introduced to Margaret Robbie, and she played excellent. She played an excellent role in this movie, as well as Jonah Hill played a creepy crony to Belfort. And yeah, Bernthal also he played a very good side character in the movie. Wasn't that long there, but every time he was on screen, I thought it was always interesting. So yeah, the whole movie is very, very funny. It's very watchable. To me, it might just be in my top three Martin Scorsese movies, and that says a lot. It's hilarious. It's a tale of excess, but you're not bored through the whole movie. So that's very good. That's very appealing. That's number three. Number two, The Departed. That to me, I know it's a remake from a Japanese movie called Internal Affairs, but I don't care. I love this movie. To me, it features Leonardo DiCaprio in a great performance, and Matt Damon. Jack Nicholson, what I believe is his last great performance in a movie. He has other goods. The other two performance and Bucket List and How Do You Know were good performance, but weren't great like in this movie. I mean, there was this Martin Sheen in this movie. Uh, what else? Virak for Farmiga is in a movie. The whole movie is basically about one person, a mole, one uh, one cop is basically a mole into the mob from Frank Costello and which is Leonardo DiCaprio in that case, and one person portrayed as a cop, which is Colin Sullivan, played by Matt Damon, is a mole in the police department. And basically, it's a tale of basically two of them. It's basically the mob tries to do one thing, the police tries to catch him, but then the mob seems to be sometimes one step ahead until the end. And basically, it's a cat and mouse game between Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Billy Costigan, and Matt Damon's character, Colin Sullivan. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I have no qualm saying this. I have no qualm about spoiling it to you guys. It's one of my favorite movies of all time from beginning to end. It's a movie that keeps you on the tip of your toes for the whole duration of the movie. It's 2 hours 15 minutes and I around 2 hours 15 minutes and I didn't notice the time in the movie. It's one of those movies that's one of the movies where it warrants the length. I could have even gone more than 15 minutes more for that movie. I thought it was a very good movie. It was very well written, and I would love to see more of that. That's for this number two. And number one from Christopher Nolan in 2010, Inception. Inception to me is my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and it's one of my favorite movies ever. It's also one of my favorite Nolan movies, but that's saying something. I mean, Inception to me was very original from beginning to end. He had that Nolan trademark about time and basically being complex, basically complex layers, but also it could be see it as face values. It could be an action movie that's a bit more complex. It was a blockbuster, but it was a brainy blockbuster at that. It it basically not everything was what it seemed to be. I felt like the dream world was very exciting. The characters, we didn't know that much about them, but we didn't need to understand the story to be fascinated by it. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio was very good. This is how they discovered Tom Hardy, who played Ames in that movie, went on being Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Also, the same Dark Knight Rises, you would have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who played, in this case, played Archer, Leonardo DiCaprio's Dom Cobb's assistant in the movie in Inception. We see him again. We see Joseph Gordon-Levitt as John Blake in Dark Knight Rises. We also see Marion Cotillard playing Mal in Inception, and in Dark Knight Rises she plays, spoiler, Miranda Tate slash Talia al Ghul. She plays the antagonist in both movies. And yeah, I thought this entire movie was very well done. And also, Elliot Page played Ariadne. And yeah, I thought the whole movie was very fascinating, was a very I'll say it's not just fascinating. It was a very original movie. I don't see anybody else but Chris Nolan being able to do this. So, I mean, it's 2 hours, 20 minutes ish. And from beginning to end, I thought it was one of those movies that should have been, that already got a lot of praise and a lot of box office from the audience, but I felt like it should have gotten more love. I mean, it was better to me than The King's Speech. King's Speech was very good. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like Inception to me is something that's much more rewatchable. Whereas King's Speech is about one or two performances and that's it. So in this case, I felt like in Inception, there's no one performance that outgrows another one. Everybody was awesome. That Leonardo was awesome. Levitt was awesome. Cotillard was awesome. Page was awesome. Hardy was awesome. Ken Watanabe was awesome. Everybody were there. Every played their part well, and the hallway fight is legendary for its inventiveness and also basically how they would fight basically as the room is spinning. That to me was an awesome movie, and it's not recency bias. Like I just say, it's still one of my favorite movies of all time. So those are my list for the top 18 movies from Leonardo DiCaprio. To recap, I'll just say it. Number 18 was Revolutionary Road. Number 18, Revolutionary Road. Number 17, Great Gatsby. Number 16, Gangs of New York. Number 15, Boy's Life. Number 16, The Revenant. Number 14. Sorry, I'm going to restart again. Sorry. Number 18, Revolutionary Road. Number 17, Great Gatsby. Number 16, Gangs of New York. Number 15, Boy's Life. Number 14, Revenant. Number 13, Titanic. Number 12, One Battle After Another. Number 11, Don't Look Up. Number 10, Man in the Iron Mask. Number 9, Django Unchained. Number 8, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 7, Blood Diamond. Number 6, Catch Me If You Can. Number 5, Shutter Island. Number 4, Aviator. Number 3, Wolf of Wall Street. Number 2, Departed. Number 1, Inception. So let me know what you think down below about what is your favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie. On that note, it's Damon. Have a great day. Bye.